Hello, I'm Richard Voves, Bald Explorer, and I'm on a quest for England, as you probably know by now. And today I'm on the Bald Explorer walk. This is one of the walks that we do, group walks that we do for dedicated people who don't mind getting a little bit wet or strolling through a bit of mud.
A lot of mud.
A lot of mud, and we're in St Leonard's Forest near Horsham, where Julia and I recently did a video testing out a off-road pram, which has been absolutely brilliant, and they're walking up ahead doing that. But I thought for this video I wanted to talk to one of our enthusiastic viewers, patrons, etc., who is an Englishman who lives abroad. Andrew Norris. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Richard.
Lovely to have you on camera together.
Oh, it's great to be here in the English countryside.
Absolutely.
It's a joy.
Now, you're originally from the UK, but you live pretty much now in Croatia.
I do, yes. I divide my time in between the capital, Zagreb, in winter, and then come spring, then I head off to our village house where we have a piece of land, work the land, the orchard, make my videos and film the villagers and their stories and customs and what they do with the land.
Now, you've been documenting on video the village for quite some time. Because
About 10 years now.
10 years.
Yeah.
And I'll put a link to your videos, of course, in the description, because it's absolutely fascinating looking at some of the earlier videos you've done where the village and the farming is very much sort of stuck in the 1940s from the English perspective.
Well, when I first saw a neighbour ploughing with horses, he's the last person to be doing it, incidentally, I thought this is exactly how England was 50 odd years ago.
Yes, which is, less than a whole lifetime ago.
Yes, within living memory.
Yes, and I think that's what really keyed me into your work, is because I'm so aware of modernisation and the pace of change.
Yes.
I'm in my mid-50s, so it's a relatively short life so far, hopefully. Hopefully going to be a longer life, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And yet, even for me, it's hard to believe that people really farmed in that way. Of course, we know they did, because we have the pictures, but there you are witnessing it.
Well, yes, and it's all done on a domestic scale. But
Yes.
Since I've been there, I've made over 100 films. But what I've witnessed, the changes in the village, it's almost beyond recognition now.
Right, and I guess those changes are an escalated version
Absolutely.
of the changes that we've had over the last 80 years.
Yes, possibly, yeah.
It's going to vanish over this side for a moment. It's quite a muddy track. So what I wanted to ask you really is, living abroad, I know that you have very strong connections and love of England.
Oh, indeed, yes.
And so the wrench, I suppose, is there a wrench when...
Well, not really, because when I first went to Croatia, I went during the war to make paintings of destroyed cultural monuments.
And when you say the war, you're not talking of the Second World War, of
No,
course.
this was the Homeland War, which spanned between 91 and 95. I saw an exhibition in London of destroyed cultural monuments, and I felt compelled I must go to this country, which I knew really nothing about, and document the destruction. And then the decision to keep coming back to this country was made for me from that first visit.
Right.
That I developed a strong emotional attachment to this country. So that's why I'm happy there, but I do need to come back to England, let's say southern England, to the chalk downland, though there's precious little chalk here at the moment.
No,
but even so,
the Wilden clay.
Yes, I need to come back occasionally.
Right, just to feel connected.
Well, and also when I was a painter in England, all my inspiration came from the southern downs,
Right.
the downlands and the Weald.
Yes. So do you take with you a little bit of England?
I have a few pieces of chalk and a few pieces of flint, and I have a piece of flint which is almost in the shape of Great Britain.
Oh, do you?
Yes, yeah.
That by design, or just
I saw it, it reminded me of the shape of the country.
Oh, amazing.
So I thought, yes, I'll take it.
So have you embraced Croatian culture and life?
In a way, very much. I mean, before I went out there permanently, I taught myself the language for 4 years while I was working.
Wow.
And then I left my job and went to university, London University, and I was the only student. So I learnt passively, and now I've been living there for 15, 16, 17 years. I still can't speak the language, but I can speak a village Croatian.
Right, so...
Because the older people, of course, they don't know English.
No, so of course you've had to, yes.
Yes, yeah.
And what better way of learning a language if you have to...
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah.
Quite.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's...
But it's very different than the country here, the people here, very different. The culture's very different.
The landscape, is the landscape similar?
Not at all, no. Where we are, it's mainly limestone.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and I've painted it quite a lot. But there's not the variety of geology that you have here.
Right. But we were saying in this particular area we've got a lot of pine trees.
Yes, yeah.
But you've got more beech and
oak, yeah.
And oak.
Yeah.
Which of course, if you're fueling wood-burning stove, is quite handy.
Which we do.
Which
yes.
you do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we don't have central heating in the village. We still don't even have running water.
Right. So
although that is now being laid.
So it's quite, I'm thinking from an English person's perspective, that sounds quite primitive, but, they're not primitive people.
No, I mean, it's fairly basic. But,
yes.
It's quite good to be out of your comfort zone a little bit. We collect rainwater. We have installed a pump, so we don't need to go outside to get the water. But,
yes.
The rainwater's fine. We have a natural spring, not too far from us, where half the village go to collect the drinking water, and I did one little video for your show about that.
Yes, you did. Yeah. I mean, and again, I suppose we're so used to running water and having the amenities on tap at your fingertips. Yeah. Exactly. Just staggering through some heavy mud. So looking back on England from that perspective of being there now for 15 years, you'll hear me occasionally moan about the changes,
yes.
About the new builds, about the modernisation, the overpopulation. How does all of that chime with you?
Well,
you see the country.
I know, and I do see a lot of the build. In fact, coming on the train today, just before I reached Horsham, I saw large sways which had been levelled and which were evidently going to be built on.
Right.
And I thought, it's a shame you have all this massive building, it stops abruptly, then you have a few fields, and then another housing estate.
Gosh, I might just pause here while shall we just pause, guys, whilst we just wait for the others to catch up? And also, there's got to be a left-hand turn in a minute.
Okay.
Rather hoping for. As I said at the beginning, we're just recording this as we stroll on our walk. But things, so, yes, you've seen the change. Does that depress you?
It makes me a bit sad, yeah.
Because you've got all that open space. But I was Zagreb,
yeah,
where you are, it seems very busy and compact.
It's not really. I mean, it's the only capital city I know where you have a high street, and 2 minutes from the high street you can be in a wood.
Oh wow! Right.
If you come, I'll show
yes.
you. You'll be amazed. Yeah.
Well, I would like to. I would like to come and venture over and explore. It's that open space with fewer people.
Well, indeed, where we're living, we live in a 1970s, quite a large block.
Right.
But we have a view of the River Sava and the embankment, which, is large swathe of greenery for walking the dog. And the other side we have more park and a view of the city and the mountains behind.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
And it's that, I suppose, that's slightly teasing me now or enticing me to try and find the England that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Of a nostalgic past, because I'm of a certain age, that the modern world seems to be
further and further away from.
Yes, it just seems to be rubbing out some of the key elements that I so much enjoy. I don't know how other people feel about that.
I mean, I remember in the late 70s, I was taken to Coley Hill and Reigate. This is before they built the M25.
Oh, wow.
And it was beautiful, calm and peaceful.
Yes.
And now when you go there, all you hear is this distant hum of traffic. And that's really
And so listening for things like birdsong,
Yeah.
and looking out for wildlife, which was so much part of an English person's way of life,
Oh, indeed, yeah.
has just been gone. And my worry is that it's gone. People like me will moan about it, but younger generations, my children in the millennium,
not so bothered about it.
not bothered because
No.
it's never touched them.
Experienced it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that I think is very sad. I think change is important, but
Well, indeed,
it's the
you mustn't
rapid
lose
space.
the connection with,
Yeah.
with, you know, where you come from.
Well, we could clearly talk about this for hours, but as you know, I only do short little
Yes,
videos.
yeah.
But I'll put a link, as I say, to Andrew's videos, so do check them out. That would be great.
Sure.
In the meantime, I need to make sure that the group is on the right path and that we find the...
Well, if we get lost, it's still an adventure.
It is. I was hoping there was going to be a pub at the end of it, but there is
That would be
actually
nice.
a garden centre with a cup of tea. That will be
Well, that's okay.
next best thing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. I can feel my nose dribbling.
Yeah.
You don't want to know that, but I can feel it. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you, Richard. It's been a pleasure.
And don't forget to follow, like and subscribe, all the usual. And
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Become a patron.
Become a patron. See you on the next video. Till then, bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks, Andrew.
Oh, pleasure. I enjoyed that.
I hope you're enjoying this video. Why not help me make more and become a patron? A small donation really makes all the difference and keeps me out and about producing these magnificent presentations. So go to baldexplorer.com and become a patron today.